Welcome to a special evening event, full moon special event with yours truly, Adrian Dragan, androgynous pansexual founder of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, independent artist, athlete, activist, universal spiritual teaching student, philosopher, poet, world's greatest living dancing millennial rainbow poet, LGBTQ world community member, an androgynous pansexual founder of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. 9:34 p.m. EST in Hawk Island, Montreal. Just coming out of a heat wave where I've broken personal fitness records. You can check out my workout videos, real raw, unedited videos of workout training, rants, philosophizing, meditating. Coffee with Dragon specials. This is a special full moon. Gonna drink some tea. Calling for an immediate ceasefire and peace between Ukraine and Russia and worldwide for that matter, in the implementation of my trinity of theories known as citizen integration theory, debt refusion theory, and democratic fusion theory, in order to create the two complementary and cooperative and covenant institutions of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, with the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army, Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love, universal revolutionary centrist party. Love is action, yours truly, Adrian Dragan. Not perfect, far from it, got issues, got vices, got lusts. Don't play it, self-righteous. Grateful, thankful, although broke, not poor. My philosophies, workouts, poetry, and spiritual rants are gold. But I am broken and grateful, thankful that my rent is paid in this underground room, office, and temple in Hawk Island, Montreal. One third of my phone bill, correction. My electricity bill is paid in full for May. My rent is paid in full for May. May 16, half mid-May. Got food, got some noodles. Gonna be eating 75 cents late dinner after this meditative video. Gonna be having some tea, and interestingly enough, the tea is product of Germany, but the rappers had made product of Morocco. Found that interesting. If you look at some labels, some goods are like this, and this honey, which when they're putting in the tea, also want to make that mark. I bought this on special, 500 grams for $4.99. Honey, so the prices are going up, record-breaking gas prices in my corner gas. I think it reached $2.16. Never seen anything like it. And I've looked at the graph earlier while cleaning, doing laundry, purifying my room, office, and temple, and cleaning and taking the garbage out and writing some poetry and meditating and emails and social media and what have you. And noticed the graphs. Gas prices for Montreal, Hawk Island went from 93 cents just in early 2020, right at the onset of the COVID-19 health and financial crises, the pandemic. And gas was 93 cents. Now earlier today, it reached 216 at some places in Hawk Island, Montreal. So more than doubled in less like 2 years. That is a very big increase in gas prices. I'm going to be putting a little bit of honey that I bought on special about a month ago, and it says packaged in Canada from a blend of imported honey from Ukraine and Thailand. So it's a blend of honey from two continents, Europe, Ukraine, and Thailand. See, on the label. I'm grateful for this honey, for this cup of tea. Ah, smells good. Bees, bees, bees holy. Remember the motto of the dancing goddess army. On this full moon, do say, remember the forgotten goddess. Yes, I did say goddess. Goddess is all around. The trees are the hairs on the goddess's body. And the goddess dances with her brother the sun to make, create, and produce all ALL fruits, vegetables, and legumes that our brothers and sisters, farmers, harvest for us to make, upgrade, maintain civilization. Hopefully, maintain and upgrade civilization. Not perfect, but I do believe my theories at this point in time, their implementation and the creation. The two complementary covenant cooperative institutions nationally, internationally, and locally, integrated with all existing public and private institutions and organizations for the 21st century, are best to address socio-economic problems, economic, financial problems. My theories have written tens of thousands of pages of philosophy, theory, poetry, and art in this past more than 7 years. Read tens of thousands of books, spending with one foot on the streets, the other foot in the libraries, and vice versa. One foot on the libraries and one foot in the streets in the Hawk Island, Montreal. Learned, read, written tens of thousands of pages of poetry, philosophy, and the compendium is the trinity of theories, which I'm calling local, national, international establishment, NATO and beyond organizations such as the United Nations and other public and private institutions and organizations for their implementation. Blend the honey from Ukraine, calling for an immediate ceasefire and peace. It's gonna be sweet and nut, special event. Of course, the flowers are created, made, and produced as all fruits, vegetables, and legumes are made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun, who now rises and now sets. Right as is evening here in Hawk Island, Montreal, the sun, somewhere is sunrise now, somewhere in the world is sunrise now, somewhere in the world it's sunrise now. In Asia, South Korea, North Korea, China, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, India, Nepal, Laos, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, Bhutan, mourning over those Asian countries. It is morning. The sun is rising. The sun is always rising and always setting. And all fruits, vegetables, and legumes are made by the sunlight, sun rays, the heat, and the nutrients within the sunlight. I put a little bit of honey, there's a little bit of concentrated sunlight in that honey. And the bees, beautiful bees, bees, go pollinate, right? Ecosystems which we have. Food security is very important. I've lectured before and I've given lectured on the spirituality of food and eating. Make love tonight, make love tonight, make love tonight is the main message. Because if somebody's not making love, L-O-V, now or tonight, what the fuck are we fighting to save for this free world for? Civilization. For the rich stockbrokers, CEOs of corporations, rich artists, actors, and movie stars, bankers, financiers, multi-millionaires, and billionaires. That's why we're fighting for to save this free world. West Side, Western civilization for the rich. Stockbrokers, stock, buy, sell, stocks, market, crash. Might crash tomorrow. The only investment that I've did during COVID is in the body. The body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. The motto of the Dragon Army is nobody is born a dragon. I'm not born a dragon because of a surname. I grew up on the hard way. I've suffered, struggled. Working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will be medicine and therapy for yours truly. I believe it is for many. I'm advocating for the mass financing thereof. People to work out, train, exercise. I'm proud of how I've created the perfect workout training system which requires no equipment. Paradoxically, I've created and made it and designed it to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario. Back in 2019, when yours truly independent student scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, geopolitical analyst and theorist, back in October 29, I've sounded the alarm, said humanity, North American civilization, and my own theories about the North American civilizational complex, which is an arising new civilization amidst the old civilizations with new ideas and values, propagating in the North American civilizational collective, which requires a whole video and lecture by itself, so I'm not gonna go into it because it's not the main topic. Today was a little bit of meditation. It's full moon and I did cleaning, did art, did work, philosophical, artistic, cleaning, physical work, doing the laundry and washing dishes and cleaning, rearranging my room, office and temple for a week of work, philosophical, intellectual, physical work, continuing my fitness journey and encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. It has been, is, and will be medicine and therapy for me, for the brains, the head, the mind, the body, and the soul. I'm a universal spiritual teacher, student, because I'm learning every day. I don't have all the answers. I don't claim to have a dogmatic answers. Meditate daily, engage in different rituals. My integration of nature and spirituality and the marriage between us, humanity, and civilization and nature is a major part of my spirituality and the philosophy that the body is a temple for both pleasure and for purpose. For both pleasure and purpose. Being a member of the LGBTQ community, I've lectured in my own spiritual theories about how the sexual liberation within us LGBTQ and our own cultural, social tendencies within our diversity, within our multiple and diverse LGBTQ community across Rainbow Nation, across nations unite, as do say, do call. The struggle continues, but that there are sparks of intense spiritual forces of love, which, and let's be honest, sexual liberation has not come without blood, sweat, and tears for me personally. For Canadians, as a Canadian North American who was born in the USA twice in past lives, many incarnations across different nations, empires, today from Hawk Island, Montreal, as a philosopher, thinker, analyst, universal revolutionary centrist. I believe my universal revolutionary centrist theories, the application and the implementation by action, are part of the solution to what we're facing, for to move forward while breaking this impasse. Calling my brothers and sisters to channel, sublimation and channeling. Violence and aggression are the key words here. Repressing feelings and emotions and urges probably make us sick, depressed. I've been there. My own self-analysis of my own self and the greater North American cultural civilizational complex, Western civilizational complex. Myself as a peculiar member of the LGBTQ community, androgynous, incorporating both male and female in my psycho-spiritual, sexual, physical dynamics of self and being. reading, educating, self-educating. Paradoxically, I don't remember much of childhood, of youth, early youth. I remember more the last few years of reading, studying, education. Yeah, I do know that graduated high school, have a high school diploma here somewhere, graduated in, in Canada, and different volunteering and work, and different work experiences and volunteering and struggles, and as an independent artist and sufferings and struggles. I'm not perfect, far from it. Right now, I have been craving to afford during COVID and still am today is a good massage therapy. That's what I could fucking use now, rather than my rent's paid, so I'm good for me. Food, I'm good for me. In theory, I don't have any money. I'm in the red anyway, so in theory, I can go without anything because I have rent's paid, food's paid, electricity bill is paid in full. 1/3 of my phone's bugging out. Doesn't matter. I could use some love of that practical action kind, you know. A good massage, a washing of the feet. Not just to receive, but to give. I can learn massage therapy during COVID and from past lives, so my willingly loving allies and armies can massage, wash, kiss, do, clean, cook, rap, poetry, dance, workout, train, exercise, philosophize, march, and because it also requires action. I can spew theoretical, verbose, philosophical, complex language, which would perhaps more than be unnecessary and confusing, and might seem very high and intellectually sophisticated, cosmopolitan, but at the end of the day, food, house, the shelter, and in different natures, because we have our natures, how we relate to nature and civilization and spirituality and cultures. But I want to love and be loved and love. Love that good loving, that good touching. I love the feel, the physicality, the touch, the physical. The body is the temple for pleasure, for purpose. Other philosophies thought the body to be something to be shunned, to be ashamed of. No need to educate children in shame or guilt, or so I said, but to consent, hygiene, understanding, and love. Consent, hygiene, understanding, and love. Consent, hygiene, understanding, and love. I get dirty, but I get back clean, royal, regal, lofty. Spit a poetic. It's the world's greatest living millennial dancing rainbow poet. So, millennial poet that dances and the greatest. Not necessarily the greatest dancer nor the greatest poet, but together, world's greatest living dancing millennial rainbow poet. Not the greatest poet ever was a fool named Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley was the greatest poet ever and ever will be. The greatest poet who ever lived was somebody named Aleister Crowley. So that aside, to the topic today, meditation full for world peace. Brothers and sisters, back in 2019, October, we're gonna go back in time. So blessing on this tea. Not bad, very good. Back in 2019, yours truly, world peace advocate, independent student, scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, and civilizations. Alarmed by what was going on in the world, had came to the conclusion by my analysis that we humanity, Western civilization, North America, NATO, world as a whole, we are again on a path towards another international conflagration. and so created, made, and designed a workout training system to be made for such an emergency crisis scenario, such as COVID and a World War III scenario, back in October 2019. I have proof, documented proof on my raw, real, revolutionary videos, unedited, work with what I have with the laptop, and the quality of the video perhaps not best, but less superficial might inquire further. Just skip, perhaps best. Back in 2019, created the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. Created, made, and designed to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario and designed for the mobilization of a population in an emergency scenario. My scenario, it's ongoing because of the timeline of me doing the actual General War Integrated Total Body Training System. More than 240 sessions completed successfully now. I'll reach a peak summit and maximum of development at about 300, although in theory you can develop the muscles further after 300, but most after 300 sessions is the about the peak at the potential for development. After 300 is maintenance mostly, but it develops general overall fitness. So I've created it back in 2019. Paradoxically, it resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crisis, not in the same manner. Now on COVID, my trinity has been, is, and will be this. First and foremost, do not know what has caused the COVID-19 health and financial crises. Second, believe it was transmitted from snakes to human beings, although I have no proof for that. Snakes, rats, or other animals are a popular theory, although there's not 100% consensus. Some say rats, others say some other creatures, animals. Bats is popular. Bats is I think the most popular. I say snakes. Snakes is in the top 5, top 10. I don't know for sure. So thus, even if I believe it was transmitted from snakes, I don't know for sure. That's what I believe. Since I don't know for sure, don't have a proof, there's a third possibility. Another explanation outside snakes. Air, on a planet, an accident in a laboratory, an experiment gone wrong, a bioweapon, deliberate bioweapon, whatever the case may be. XYZ of those possibilities. I don't know for sure. I believe it was snakes. Cannot rule out another possibility. To that trinity on COVID, not knowing for sure, believing it was snakes, and thus, since don't know for sure and my belief in snakes is not confirmed, third, cannot rule out another possibility. XYZ, man-made virus accident in a lab, bioweapon. Fourth dimension to that trinity is what do know 100% without a doubt, is that before COVID, 93 days or so, October 17, 2019, had performed the first session of the workout known as the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. 7 words is the official title, General War Integrated Total Body Training System. As you can see from the title, a state of war, a state of crises, and to be a general war for the whole body, to increase general overall fitness, to increase general overall fitness, to increase general overall fitness. That is it. To increase general overall fitness. Perfect workout system that I'm proud to have created. That requires no equipment, and that is really a perfection. You just gotta do it for yourself. It works the whole body. I've done more than 240 sessions and I still feel it. the pool every time I do it. So you can check my workout videos, raw, real, unedited, as proof of work, so to speak. So I'm continuing to doing that. Parallel analysis, art, poetry, philosophy. Dancing artist in the Dragon Kingdom was a dream, because part of me is a dreamer, and part of me is a dreamer, and part of me is a nerd, although hard tough. Didn't have it easy, and have it grew up by myself for many years. Some friends along the way, and good. That being stated, from 2019 and then COVID, and died during COVID in many ways. Being reborn, Adrian Hunter Dragan, during this COVID. Androgynous pansexual founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon King. Topic at hand is the current situation, and I'm gonna keep it brief, and I'm just gonna discuss a little bit of my take on the current crises falling in Europe, war in Ukraine. Sure, as a geopolitical analyst, somebody who was in many past lives a soldier, fought in wars and died in wars. Read George Patton's Through a Glass Darkly. Of course, I would prefer to, in order to discern more, would be to have visited Ukraine and be on the ground and do an exploration, maybe in a Hawk supercraft, which is my theoretical development for the Dragon Army. The Hawk supercrafts written in theory on paper, and along with the lion weaponry and the dragon trucks and the suits. I'm calling on a public-private partnership to support and integrate my theories with all existing NATO members and the armed forces of NATO. To understand, to try to find a solution to the impasse, as I'm calling for a ceasefire. Not just Ukraine and Russia, but worldwide, and to break the impasses, to understand that sometimes the problems are more complex. It's not always black and white, there's a lot of gray. In the black and white, of course, we say we are for peace. But we do admit that we have aggression, we do admit that we have violence, that we have hidden fears. Not everything is rationality and logic. There's hidden fears within myself, within somebody else. Hidden lusts, hidden fears, right? We have that trigger our reactions to harm others or violence. Is not always easy to channel, and sublimate, right? As much as I am gonna say brothers and sisters, Ukrainians and Russians, stop the war, let's unite, cross the borders from Hawkeye to Montreal, Canada, and North America, and Europe, and Africa, and the Americas, and let's do some fucking push-ups instead, and give each other a fucking good massage and do some fucking cooking. It's not always easy because we have urges of dominance, urges of experiences, urges of within our representation as individuals within the greater civilizations in which we inhabit, nation states in which we inhabit. As much as I have a dreamer part of, and I've been a dreamer from what I do know, because I lost a lot of memory of my youth, early childhood, and early adulthood. Don't remember that much. A few years then and then before COVID. Mostly I remember from the COVID my work, and I worked a lot during COVID, not just intellectually and philosophically, but physically as well, and spiritually and philosophically and physically, and of course morally in a philosophical way with writings and going over the writings that I've written in the past years and revision and current events and situational awareness of current events, local, national, international. As much as you can say, think global, act local. Think global, act local. Think global, act local. The honey I just put is from Ukraine and Thailand, right? A portion of it. Who knows? 30, 40%, whatever the ratio is. Half, half, maybe. Maybe not. 40, 60, 30, 70, whatever. 20, 80, 10, 90. 60, 40, 65, 35, whatever the ratio is. Right? How much is from Ukraine in the jar? It doesn't say. It just says a blend of honey from Ukraine and Thailand. Part of it is from Ukraine. Then I can go into meditative speculation, maybe where the honey comes from Ukraine, now is in war, right? It's conflict, it's war, tragedy, loss of human life. And as much as I'm a world peace advocate, to understand, and I've admitted within my own self, perhaps not, it's not a script here, I'm freestyling from the heart, from the mind and the body. I have a paper written by some PR agency for me as a politician. Most of these politicians ain't gonna have my passion. Just got more money for a public relations agency, for a script for a suit and tie. I'll be too, got my second hand ties there. Too tight around the neck. Have to loosen up. Give me a red suit, I'm good. Steel toe boots. Got more money for a private jet. Politicians of the free world. Let's go kiss those farmers, give up farmers a massage with a Dragan army and politicians, man. Leaders of the free world. I'm not perfect. Watched some porn actually during the weekend, even yesterday morning, Sunday morning, and Sunday night. I watched a little bit of pornography, adult movies. I fantasized a little bit. Hey, CSISS. Secret Service, Secret Service, NSA, NSA, FSB, FSB, Mossad. Mossad, Mossad. I admit it. I lusted. You know, smoke a little bit of pot sometimes. Legal, legal, legal. Got that out of the way. Tiny hands, tiny feet, tiny little androgynous scar clit dick. Fourth dimension to that tiny trinity had a big mouth. With all the flaws, the imperfections that do have, I am for the greater good. Of course, I want to get a good massage as well. You know, want to give a good massage. Want to keep on loving. Want to love. Cause my rent's paid. Underground room office and temple rent is paid. Got food. Rent's paid. Got food. Paid my electricity bill in full. 1/3 of my phone bill. So I'm good. What are we missing? It's LOV. It's in our nature. Love comes in shades of gray, black, white, or rainbow. Beloved, platonic love, friendly love, love, different loves. To give love, receive love, to be loved. Beloved, there's a fundamental core of our being, of our essence. Somebody's not making love now, 10:08 p.m. Kissing, start kissing. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Hug, hug, hug. What fuck are we fighting to save civilization for, huh? Multi-millionaire CEOs waking up tomorrow, waking up at 5 in the morning so they can make $1 million trading stocks. That's what we're fighting for. That's why we put it on uniforms. Be security forces. Huh? No, I don't know at all. I have more questions. A parallel life, science, innovation, and technology is my chosen path. Diverged, trying to connect with that parallel self where satellites, supercomputers, ICBM rockets, and micro gadgets is my chosen path. Supercomputers. In this life, philosopher, poet, independent athlete, artist, activist, world's greatest living dancing millennial rainbow poet, and androgynous pansexual, founder of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. For world peace, a new world order of world peace, international justice, secured and ensure global freedom. To that trinity, fourth dimension, working towards attaining harmony between civilization and nature. Calling on all willingly loving. Calling on all willingly loving. Calling on all willingly loving. Now, love is action. So, love, blah, blah, blah. You know, it can be. Some people are content with that. LOV. My main message is make love tonight. Life is short. Otherwise, we're putting on the armed forces, security force, save civilization, Western civilization. More stock markets open. Might crash. Crashed a bit last week. Who owns most stocks? Middle class, where you at? Across Canada, North America, USA, Western world. Debt. Debt refusion theory, my theory best at this point in time. Creating new institutions, through complementary covenant cooperative institutions, integrated with all existing private and public institutions. What a creative solutions. And I admit that some things I am mediocre. I am average. I fucking suck at some things. Some things, a point in time, if I don't learn a little bit, maybe I got better, but I am perhaps at some things and was fucking useless. I'm great at some other things. I'm social with other things. The complementarity of our skills, knowledge, to maintain, hopefully, the civilization, hopefully upgrade, also space colonization and working together for outer space exploration and development. Not easy. It's fine words. I know, I know, I know. Struggle and wrestle with dimensions of self which are not easy to admit. Certain aspects of self which we loathe to admit to even to our own selves, right? Things in the dark, hidden fears, hidden lusts. Like I made a joke with a few months ago, with the NFL player who responds to me, Dragan, and says, "I'll come meet you, come drink a cup of coffee in your underground room off St. Temple, and I'll give you a little bit of economic, financial, commercial help for the Dragon Army." So this is fictional. Player from the NFL, 6'6", 360 pounds, 13 years in the NFL, comes to my underground room off St. Temple. 360 pound, O line or D line, defensive line, offensive line, whatever. 360, 6'6", 13 years in the NFL. Three concussions, survived three concussions, survived three concussions, hit to the head like myself. Living proof of acquired savant syndrome and neuroplasticity by action. Neuroplasticity by action and acquired savant syndrome. Acquired savant syndrome and neuroplasticity by action. So he comes to my underground room house in Temple. 6'6", 360, 13 years in the NFL. Survived 3 concussions. Starts screaming. Ah! Rushes toward the door. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's up? Spider, spider, spider. 6'6", 360, 13 years in the NFL. He's afraid of a tiny little spider. How irrational is that? It doesn't make sense. I said, well, the spiders are my friends here in my underground room of some temple. Spiders are messengers from the goddess. He says, goddess has got a big 350,000 Jesus piece on his neck. He's a multi-millionaire NFL player. Like, get out of here. Get out of my room house and temple. I don't want your money. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. Goddess, full moon, priestess, H-N-H, priestess of the goddess, Adrian. I'm going to be listening to Alexander Dugin, which I've been reading, been studying this past 11 days or so. It's been called Putin's Brain, and in order to understand the current conflict, Alexander Dugin, understanding Putin's Russia, the Russia Putin has built in the past 2 decades. Alexander Dugin is a major part of understanding the current conflict. And is said it straight, Alexander Dugin, as Putin has in his interviews. Alexander Dugin said that they're at war with the Western liberal, the global liberal order. So there's a rejection of liberalism, of liberal ideas and values that we espouse, individual liberties, human rights, and such. As a member of the LGBTQ community, of course, my fellow LGBTQ community in Ukraine and in Russia, there's persecution. There's here, even here in Hakata, Montreal, although we have the gay village, there still is, right? There still is. It's not all pink and joy. We can do better. I can do better in so many areas. But in order to understand this conflict, it is important to understand the philosophy and the writings of Alexander Dugin. Because myself, putting aside all the other rest of myself as an artist, as an athlete, as an activist, independent, myself as a geopolitical analyst and thinker, now analyzing the situations, geopolitical developments, pacts, right? Pacts between nations, alliances, new laws, the changing of regimes, votes, parties, new established, changing policies within different countries at the level, for example, towards the LGBTQ community, minorities, minimum wage, living wages, socioeconomic, cultural dynamics, spiritual, religious dynamics within civilizations and within nation states and within different areas of geopolitics, right? So myself as a geopolitical analyst, for example, in 2019, I'd come to the conclusion, taking a few geopolitical events, namely the US-China trade war, which began in 2018 by the Trump administration, the arrest of Meng Wanzhou, aka Kathy Meng, daughter of the founder of Huawei, chief financial officer and daughter of the founder of Huawei, chief financial officer of Huawei. I'd become a big telecommunications equipment maker, smartphone maker, and what have you, Huawei. Meng Wanzhou, aka Kathy Meng, was arrested by the RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, to honor an extradition treaty with the United States of America. So I'm speaking as an American in past lives twice. I believe for North America at this point in time, the binational international Dragan army, international citizen, integrated social security and service force with my own theories of integration, within the citizenry and the citizenry in the 21st century of values and espousing of reform, social, economic, and financial, and commercial, and on all levels, and within myself as well. So that was my geopolitical analysis back then, 2019, when I've created the General War Integrated All Body Training System, because I was on a fitness journey. I've taken those considerations, of course, other political, geopolitical events such as Islamic State, terror group, terrorism around the world, and historical events even such as Pearl Harbor. So I come to the conclusion that back then in 2019, that humanity were again heading towards an international conflagration, aka World War III. And so I've created the General Integrated All Body Training System with the scenario to go with it, and it had the solutions. As I've seen COVID, I'm advocating openly for the implementation of those solutions, for my own theories of discussion, for the reforms with all the imperfections that do believe firmly that my work and my struggle and my efforts, intellectual, philosophical, physical, pain, blood, sweat, and tears to turn that A into an O. Motto of the Dragon armies: nobody is born a dragon. You become one. Reach 300 of those workouts, which is about the equivalent of about 13 years in the NFL. So, whatever the case may be, to understand the current situation, we gotta understand and listen to the words of Alexander Dugin and his writings. Alexander Dugin. His liberalism, what he calls a Eurasianism, gotta be understood as a concept. Because we might be talking when I say we, Western NATO countries, and I'm speaking of Canada within the North America, Canada, US, North American civilizational complex. That's my own theory and philosophy, North American civilizational complex, which is a civilizational complex within Western civilization, but unique nonetheless within Western civilization, as in alliance with Europe, but at the same time a uniqueness towards the transformation that occurred in the past decades, namely after the Second World War, but even before. But I'm not going to go into it. That theory. Ask, commission a video, send $93 via PayPal, and I'll do an hour on the North American civilizational complex. I'm still waiting for that first dollar donation by PayPal. It's okay, my rent's paid. It's hard, isn't it? Economic, financial, commercial pressures is not easy. Commercial for us to work, to be able to work, to do. It's monetary system we have. It's money. What is money? It's a unit of exchange. I've my own theory creating for the UE, through debt refusion theory. Alexander Dugin's books, Fourth Political Theory, is a must read. Must read Fourth Political Theory. And now we're gonna listen to Alexander Dugin. On January 7, 2022, so before the Ukraine was invaded by Russian troops, Alexander Dugin appeared. I'm going to give credit to the unregistered podcast, unregistered number 193, Alexander Dugin video. I'm from Moscow. This was 2 months before Russia invaded Ukraine. Of course, understanding Dugin's philosophy and Soviet Union nostalgia, and Putin having, when the Soviet Empire dissolution, when the Berlin Wall fell, Putin was already, I think, more than 37 when the Berlin Wall fell. So he grew up, spent more than 37 years under the Soviet Union. So you also have to take those dynamics into consideration, right? And the whole idea of Dugin as a Russian civilization. and some dangerous ideas of a strategy of Russia to reassert or to create a new Russia centric Eurasian Russian civilizational empire, if you will, by also strategically supporting groups within the West or North American civilizational complex, Canada, US, that create fragmentation and division within our own societies, our Western liberal society, democratic society, so like that. In that regard, it's a it's a very serious and very dangerous situation. And as Dugin himself, I'm gonna quote, has said, it's very serious because they're working towards having a multipolar world rather than a hegemonic unipolar world. Well, don't necessarily agree that we have hegemonic or that it's that unipolar, but that's again for debate and argument. And more than debating an argument, I'm saying to local, national, international, all my willingly loving brothers and sisters, it is some with solutions which we have to focus on. And myself could learn more, everything like looking now on YouTube, connects via Wi-Fi, goes to wires, connects to other computers, to the servers of YouTube, servers of YouTube, servers of YouTube. Right? Somebody could be watching me now what I'm doing in theory. In a parallel life, I know how to do all that, hack and satellites and supercomputers, microchips, gadgets. Connecting with my parallel self gives me headaches because my parallel self sends me weekly documents which are in the 50 thousands of pages. And anyways, right here, May 16, 10:25 p.m., we will listen to Unregistered 193, Alexander Dugin, which is central to understanding Putin's Russia. My guest this week holds sanctioned by the United States because he is considered to be sanctioned is considered to be the United States. Conventional fact. Sanctioned. He is sanctioned because he is considered to be the leader that is threatening to take over the United States. This Hmm. Hardcore stuff.